Hi, it's Dwyer. It's Friday, November 26, 2021. GamblersAdvisory.com, a free site. BettingAngle.us, a free site. Let's talk about Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosas. But first, remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, let me just say, I'm expecting a KO in this fight. I simply don't know how George Kambosas can go 12 rounds against Teofimo Lopez. Let me also point out, too, that the sport of boxing has had some optical illusions that have helped some fighters over the years, right? One of them was the idea people had that Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather were too small, right? Opponents thought they could come in and cuff them around. Both Pacquiao and Mayweather had huge punches, right? Pacquiao, a lefty, had a straight left hand. Mayweather had one of the best left hooks in recent boxing memory, right? So big guys, Diego Corrales comes to mind, came in, thought they could come on their front foot, didn't even think about their back foot. And, of course, they ended up getting stopped by Mayweather. Shane Mosley, on his front foot, came in. A fight in which he had a chance, he gave away. Right? He didn't seem to realize that Manny could knock him down, which Manny did. Now here you have a powerful, and it's very powerful, optical illusion in this fight. Teofimo Lopez comes across, let's be blunt here, he comes across as someone who's too emotional. Right? Someone who's a little bit childish. He comes in, he's talking about the takeover, he seems self-involved, he seems young. You look at him and you think, oh, this guy is simple. Let's just call it as it is. Right? You look at him and you think this guy is simple. He thinks he can walk in and take over the sport of boxing. As if there haven't been great fighters at 135 in the past. Right? As if his skill level is unprecedented in the sport. Right? Serious men go about things a bit more seriously. You couldn't imagine a Ray Robinson coming in with this kind of clown show. Right? Ali came in with a clown show. Let's remember, Ali's 22 when he becomes heavyweight champion. Right? Had Ali been a little bit older, and I understand Lopez is only 24, you would have looked at Ali as a guy who, quite frankly, should be wearing a bozo outfit. But what opponents need to realize is while Teofimo seems to be caught up in personality outside of the ring, and while you're hearing about volatility in his personal life, inside the ring, Teofimo is not a guy getting by on emotion and will. That's an optical illusion. In the ring, he's a craftsman. Very high-level technician. Dare I say he's one of the best in the sport, pound for pound, right? He's scripted. He's not a jazz guy. He's not a Joe Calzaghe type who, says, let me flash some hand speed. I'll see how things go. Then I'll riff. I'll go left. I'll go right, whatever the mood hits. That's not Teofimo Lopez. Believe it or not, Mr. Emotional Volatility is extremely disciplined, right? I believe he's going to come in, whatever is said, however they're acting, whatever the poker presentation, poker persona that the guy has, right? I believe the guy is going to come in and he's going to look for cues, right? If George Kambosas drops his right hand and is open, Teofimo knows he's going to flash one of boxing's better left hooks and close the show, right? If Kambosas leans over the pocket, Teofimo knows he's going to flash an uppercut, close the show. The type of guy who gives Teofimo problems is someone who has an unorthodox loop on their punches, because Teofimo, as I said, is scripted. If you introduce something new, something uncertain, it's going to take him a little bit to adjust to it. So Nakatani gave Teofimo all he can handle. Also, I don't believe you can beat Teofimo from the outside in, right? In other words, what Lomachenko tried to do, fighting outside, moving around, then coming in, trying to mix it up, I don't believe that works. I believe the way to beat Teofimo is from the inside out. So look at that Lomachenko fight. It's when Lomachenko decides to try to tilt Teofimo backward. Get him on his back foot, where Teofimo's rarely, ever on his back foot. If you can walk through Teofimo with skill and defense, which I don't believe Kambosas has, right? I think Kambosas is more of a will guy than a skill guy, right? I think he's in there with a lot of emotion, but his technique degrades as the room temperature rises, right? If you're Lomachenko, someone with better defensive skills than Kambosas, someone with great legs, and you can stay inside and push Teofimo back, smother his punches, you have a better chance of winning than if you try to box from the outside. Now, I think Kambosas is going to try to get up in Teofimo's grill. I think he's going to make the mistake of believing Teofimo, like him, is a will guy. That these are two guys just fighting in a back alley. Right? The reality is that at the highest level, boxing is a skill sport. Right? What he's going to find is Teofimo is reading him. Teofimo is very mental. He's going to be reading him, and he's going to be throwing bombs, pot-shotting him. Not combinations, but pot shots. Right? Because Teofimo is a guy who models his game, in my opinion, after Floyd Mayweather, right? And Teofimo is looking for specific defensive lapses by his opponent that he could take advantage of. I believe he's going to find several here. I don't believe Kambosas has the power to surprise Teofimo with some lucky early punch. I'll be surprised if this fight makes it to the 10th round. I'm expecting a stoppage. I'm expecting it to be dramatic. Then I'm expecting Lopez to slip back into character, and I believe it's a character he plays, where he walks around talking about the takeover, right? Where he walks around acting as if he's the first guy with talent in his weight class, right? Where he walks around and tries to market himself as some dude who, has a lot of energy and stuff like that. Don't fall for it. This guy straight up is an assassin. Right? He is methodical. Right? This is a guy who is looking for specific things, and when he sees them, he leaves no doubt. And he hits much harder than Kambosas hits. Right? Put a different way, in my opinion, Teofimo, for all the imagery, for all the pre-fight interviews, and he's acting tough and stuff like that, he's a math guy, right? He's just looking for specific things so he can add up the equation, right? He drops his right hand, I'm coming up with the left hook. He starts parking his right hand, I'm still throwing the left hand, but now it's an uppercut inside his right hand. Right? Teofimo is a machine, folks. An orthodox fighter like Kambosas, in my opinion, has little chance. He doesn't have the skill to beat Teofimo on his back foot. He's going to have to come inside. He doesn't have the punching power to tilt, or the defense to tilt Teofimo onto his back foot. I like Teofimo Lopez in this one by stoppage. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section of this video. I'm expecting there to be a lot of theater. I'm expecting the guys, when they look at each other for the stare down right before the fight, when they're about to touch gloves, I'm expecting them to look at each other and to be talking and to be all actively involved and stuff like that. But what I want people to realize is that during a fight, you'll notice Lopez has a flat affect, just like Terence Crawford, right? These guys are connecting the dots, right? It's not a, hey, I have to get up for this guy and stuff like that. Folks, to be blunt, they don't even care who the guy is. As long as the guy is making certain mistakes, as long as the guy is falling into a certain pattern, right? They know this happens. He leans over the pocket. I'm coming with an uppercut. Lopez is two-handed. His left, in my opinion, is better than his right hand. But if Kambosas tries to get away from Lopez's left hook and wanders over to his right hand, just like Canelo, Lopez is going to come in with a straight right hand, right? In other words, Lopez has certain tools. He knows when to use them. Before the fight, okay, he and Kambosas can tell each other they're weak and stuff like that. During the fight, he doesn't care. Kambosas is just his next victim. Kambosas, I believe it's going to be different, right? He needs to have animosity toward his opponent. His energy level depends on the ill will in the fight, right? He needs to prove to Lopez certain things, that he can take his punch and stuff like that. I'm just telling you, math guys don't care about that. They're just there to win. They just want you to be in a certain position at certain times so they can throw certain punches, right? I believe the takeover is a persona an assassin has. It's a mask that Teofimo Lopez wears. In reality, he's a craftsman who's looking for specific moments where he can use his prodigious boxing power, right? I'm expecting a stoppage. If it goes the distance, just understand, I'll be shocked. Whoever wins the fight. That's how I see it. I like Lopez by stoppage. Let me hear from you. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section of this video. Thanks for stopping by.